Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Okay.
Well, once again, this is you on the show today. This is Omobola Stephen. You're also Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, right? I have incredible expert, on my show today, who come to share insight and subjects on the thought and personal development and self-improvement. So one of my guests on the show today is Kelly Picciurro, who is a doctor of physical therapy, practicing at Springboard Physical Therapy in New York City. Welcome with me on the show today, Kelly Picciurro.
Hi, it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you for joining me on the show today also, Kelly, right? Kelly, you're very holistic in your approach, right? Tell me, what are your strategies?
Yes, so I find that when somebody comes in for an injury, so let's say that they're coming in for a knee injury, it's really important to look at the whole body, to look at the joints above and the joints below. So if you're here for your knee, what caused your knee pain? Maybe something going on in the hip, maybe something going on in the ankle. You really need to look at the whole picture. You need to take diet into consideration. You need to take stress into consideration. So, looking at the whole body, but also looking into other aspects of the patient's life, whether it might be something going on at work, something going on in their home environment. But there's a lot of aspects that might contribute to somebody having pain or injury or dysfunction. So that's what I mean by a holistic approach, really looking at the whole picture and not just their painful knee or their painful low back, as well as, doing maybe some hands-on work, doing some exercise work, but really doing, encompassing all aspects of physical therapy when getting somebody better and healthy and pain-free.
Awesome. Now, as a physical therapist, right, what have you done and what can you do for me?
So there are a couple of answers to this question. So the main thing is really is decreasing pain.
All
so
right.
let's say that you have pain, you come to physical therapy, and we do an assessment and figure out where it's coming from, why it's going on, and then we give you techniques to decrease that pain, whether it be the manual therapy that we do or whether it be exercise, but really pain reduction. And then in addition to that, strengthening, so getting you stronger, so your injury or so your pain doesn't reoccur, educating you on posture and alignment, and the best way to sit, as well. So, a couple different things, but the main reason I see people is because they're in some sort of pain or they have an injury.
Right. Kelly, my audience would like to be informed about injuries. Are they avoidable?
I'm sorry, one more time?
We would like to be informed about injuries, right? Are injuries avoidable?
Yes. So, common injuries that I typically see, I would say back and neck pain are the most common. So many patients come in just with some generalized back and neck pain. This could be from posture, it could be from how they're sitting, it could be from how they're sleeping. Maybe they're sitting for too many hours or they're not sitting the most appropriate way. So that's the number one injury. And then I see a lot of injuries due to weakness. So people who may exercise or go for a run, and they kind of overdo whatever it is they were doing. And since their muscles are weak and can't support them, they end up injuring, whether it be their knee, their ankle, their shoulder, as a result of weakness or an imbalance. So that's another kind of common injury due to weakness or overuse of weak muscles. So if that's the case, you really want to strengthen the weak muscles. You want to look at their flexibility and their alignment. So those are the major injuries that I see. Other than that, there's always accidents and trauma. So if somebody falls or they get in a car accident, those are other types of injuries that I work with and that I can help patients with. So definitely a wide variety of injuries, but those are the most common ones.
Right. Let's delve into female health. So what are 5 female health concerns? You like to share your insight?
Yeah. So a lot of times, the way that females are shaped can affect injury. So they typically tend to have wider hips than men do. So you have a lot of ligaments and weakness in your abdominal muscles because of that overstretching. So those are definitely some more common, female injuries or pain-related syndromes that I see. It's really important to strengthen the core, so your abdominal muscles. I use Pilates-based exercises a lot when it comes to core strengthening. So Pilates really focuses on some of those smaller stability muscles. To help really get the core firing, which will then in turn support the back and the hips. So those are really the most common ones.
Awesome. Now, we like to talk about the impact of women's health on society. Yeah.
It's
sure.
I think it's becoming more prevalent, and I think in general, women are more active, women are working more, that there's been a shift in the dynamic from, them being home more with the family to them playing a more active role in society, which has been so amazing. I would say my patient population is probably 50-50 men and women, but I have so many amazing female athletes, female business women who are working. And so I definitely think that's great. And even in my profession as a physical therapist, there are many more women as PTs now than there ever were. I know my graduating class was maybe like 75% women. So that was also pretty unremarkable to see.
Right. Let's talk about some challenges that you face as a physical therapist. Do you like to share with my audience?
Sure. So,
especially with your clients, right? Especially with your clients.
Yes, definitely. So, sometimes it's not very quick to fix everybody. So, I've had my fair share of clients come in with pain. And they expect to walk out of here feeling 100% and no pain. And sometimes that takes a while, unfortunately. So physical therapy is very conservative. We don't use any medication. It's very holistic. So, sometimes you have to fix their alignment over and over again and release muscles, for a couple of sessions in a row to really get them feeling better. So I would say one of the challenges is definitely, working with their pain levels and meeting their expectations and educating them that they may not necessarily feel better after their first session, but it's a slow process, but it's a process that works. And over time, they will have the foundation and the strength so their injury will not reoccur. So that's definitely been a challenge. And then another challenge that's, a more recent thing is we work so closely with our patients. It's a very hands-on profession. So we definitely had some challenges during COVID, just having people feel comfortable coming into the office and working so closely with another human being. It's not a profession where you can work from home. So you really need to be in the office, and your patients need to come into the office to see improvements.
Right. Thank you, Kelly Picciurro, for your incredible insight on the subject of discussion, especially, focusing on physical therapy, right? Do you like to share some problems in physical therapy?
It's a very physical job. So, I myself have battled my fair share of injuries, and I've had some back pain and some neck pain. So that's been a challenge every so often. I always get through it, and I have amazing coworkers who help me get through it. But it's a physical job. It's very exhausting. It's tiring. So it's definitely important to take care of yourself and take care of your body and have good body mechanics when you're treating patients. So that's definitely a problem or an issue we may face. And really just, when it comes to getting patients in the door and having a successful business, the best way I find to accumulate patients is really by word of mouth. So if you help others and you make them feel better, they'll spread the word and they'll tell their family and their friends to come in. But sometimes it's a challenge doing some marketing and reaching out to people and getting the schedules filled. So definitely a little bit a little part about the job is marketing as well, and reaching out to people and trying to get people to come in.
All right. Kelly, is there anything like aquatic therapy and any benefits?
Yes, so aquatic therapy is great. So that's when you do therapy in the water. So it could be just as simple as swimming, or it could be specific exercises in the water. But doing therapy in the water in a pool is really beneficial because the water actually unweights your joints. So people with a lot of joint pain, maybe some arthritic conditions, the water decreases any pressure or weight on those joints. So you actually feel better in the water and you're able to do more. And on the flip side, the water also adds a little bit of resistance. So if you're doing exercises in the water, they can sometimes be a little bit harder than doing them on land, but at the same time, you have the unweighting properties of the water that helps. So it's very beneficial. Like I said, swimming is great. It's a cardiovascular exercise, but it can also help with strengthening and loosening up your joints. And then you can also do, you can do squats in the water, you can do kicks in the water, you can do arm exercises in the water. So there's a lot you can do with aquatic therapy, and it usually feels really nice. Patients usually really love it, and it doesn't cause any pain or anything like that.
Sure. Do you have any projects in the pipeline you're working on?
Sorry, one more time?
Do you have any projects in the pipeline?
What was that last part?
Yes. Do you have any projects that you're working on presently or in the pipeline?
Projects, yes. So I do a lot of lectures. I'm currently doing a pain lecture to different audiences. So, explaining the background on pain and how our brain perceives pain and what we can do to overcome our pain. So doing some projects like that. I also work with dancers. Reaching out to dance studios, showing them common exercises they can do to make certain muscles stronger, and then ways to prevent common dance related injuries. So I do work with those types of populations.
Right. I wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So what parting words would you like to share with my audience?
What part of?
Parting word?
I'm sorry, one more time.
What parting word would you like to share with my audience?
Well, I just really want to thank you for having me on the show. This has been so great. And, you know, just if I can give your audience just a couple of tips and tricks, or things that I see most often that could maybe help them. You know, try not to sit for too long. Get up, walk around, take stretch breaks. Walking is great. It's a quick, easy form of exercise, but just to stay active and make sure you're stretching, and you're trying to sit with good posture. Again, you know, standing up, taking breaks. That's all